Go ahead.
I'm Finn Vanderwally, and I am here interviewing Miss Tilly Newkirk, who is the daughter of Antonius Framakers, a Netherlands artist. I will be interviewing her and asking about her father. Okay, I'm going to ask you questions about his life. So what was it like for him to live in the Netherlands?
I think it was very exciting for him. He was born in 1903, and the Netherlands was not what it is today. He learned how to draw and to do art at the age of 8 by an artist by the name of Dr. Louis Ramakers, which is my father's last name, who got him started on painting. And he used house paint on a little piece of wood. That was his beginning.
What inspired him to be an artist?
I think probably it was my great uncle Louis, who was a very, very famous World War II, World War I cartoonist. His books are available in any library of any consequence in terms of IU library or whatever. But he really admired this man and his talent. Plus his father was also an extremely intelligent and very advanced artist.
What was his pastime besides art?
Well, I have to be honest with you, Finn. I think his pastime was probably art, and then some more art.
Okay. Did he try to teach you or your other brothers and sisters his art?
Yes, he did. But I had 3 older sisters, and I had 2 younger brothers, and I never wanted to participate in any of his teachings because I didn't want to be competitive with my siblings. So I was the only child in my father's family and my mother's family that did not want to pursue his art creativity.
Okay. Did he ever travel a lot?
Yes, he did. He went to school in Belgium. He went to Paris. He studied in Paris. He worked closely with other artists of the day, of that era. Finally he taught some in the Belgium School of Art, and it was called Liège Art School. Yes, he did travel, if you call that travel, from the Netherlands to France, to Belgium. That was probably about the extent of his travels.
And I'm going to go back to the last question. Do any of your brothers and sisters live in fame, or because of his teachings?
I think when we moved to Indiana, art was not an important factor in this community, but I think had we been perhaps in a bigger community, they would have become more notorious for their work. All of them exceeded, actually my 2 brothers exceeded his talent in the art world, and 3 of my sisters were also very good, but no one ever pursued it.
Okay. I'm going to go to his art. What kind of materials did he use?
He started on just like a piece of board, a piece of wood, which is what his Uncle Louis would start him on, with just house paint. And from that he went to composite boards, and from that he went to canvas to do his art. He did become very knowledgeable about doing what do I want to say, in libraries, frescoes, and ceiling art and decorative art. He also had a degree in, I want to say, in architecture. Yeah, that's true. He had a degree in architecture, but I never knew about that until after he had passed away.
Okay. What was his technique for art?
His technique probably favored the older artists like Vincent van Gogh. He liked Monet. He loved, I think, what was his name? I cannot think of that right now. He loved all the older methods of art more than what was in his day. When he was studying, he favored that, and until we came to the United States in 1950, he began to get into the Cubism art, the style of art, and his more modernistic style after we came here.
Did he go to like school for art besides architecture?
Yes, he did. He went to the School of Art in Belgium and in Liège. After several years in school, he did teach for a while in Liège, Belgium.
What kind of art did he do?
When he came to the United States, he became very versatile. He became very old-time art, including, and then adding on to that Cubism and various and sundry modes of art, modern art. He became versatile in all forms of art. That's talking about art on canvas, paint on canvas.
Why did he want to do that kind of art?
I think he saw that the old-time art was not very lucrative. It wasn't selling very well in terms of what did people like. They wanted to have something in their homes or in their possession that was more modern day. And by modern day, I want to say in the 50s, which was considered then modern day. So he began to transfer his talent into other mediums of art.
I have an additional question. I was trying to look up the painting that I want to do, and I found a lot of pictures about a horse and a boy. Do you know anything about that?
A horse and a boy. Well, he probably did several horses and a boy. And specifically, I don't know what that piece would have been. The painting that you're talking about, which was exhibited in your church, I believe, he did that very, very, very early on, perhaps even before we became citizens of the United States. That particular painting was near and dear to his heart because it was like in an old church or